What's good, YouTube? We are back with another video, and today is going to be literally just a trade recap of the two trades I took this recent live stream. Um, I'm going to have the explanation in there. It's only going to be the trades, make this short and sweet to show you guys how I executed. Because at the end of the day, you will see the time when I took the trade and when I did not take the trade. So there's going to be a little bit of talking, a little bit of, helping you understand in the reasoning why I'm actually taking these trades. So, other than that, stay tuned and I appreciate you guys for watching.
30 more seconds to confirm it. So we'll draw our equilibrium, bam to bam, and now we'll look for a 1 minute to validate this. And if we don't validate it, we're just not going to trade it, which it looks like we're going to. A couple more seconds, and no, we hold that 1 minute all over again. So now we're not gonna trade this. We still have this SMT. So what would be the point in trading it if we still have an SMT? We still know we have buy side resting all the way up there. So now, yeah, that is exactly what we want to see. So now here is where I want to see a change out if we're going to go long here. Bullish SMT is still valid. And we get that confirmed change out. Now I just need NQ to confirm that right there off this 30-second model. But SMT still held. If NQ does, want to take this change as well, I would be confident. And why would I? Because we're looking to get rid of that SMT here. Simply right there. So I want to see that displacement. Let's get rid of this SMT. Clean 30-second change. Let's look here. Looks like we are going to pull back to it. See, NQ just did not take it yet. Put in a smaller, lower time frame change, but this is exactly why we're patient and we just wait. We pull back to it on ES, but we put in this 1 minute change too. We just pulled back to. So if we open up a 1 minute in favor here, possible long opportunity, and then bam, that SMT is not in the market anymore. 30-second change on NQ gets validated as well. I'm gonna buy 4 on ES. My stop is gonna go right beneath this 1 minute gap right there. So I only bought 4 just because of where we got to, but we changed out of it with this SMT and we failed to change on ES, so we get rid of that. And then obviously, we're starting to seek higher on both of these indexes. That SMT is not valid anymore. We're looking for those equal highs obviously to get met, but we are targeting buy side liquidity up there. SMT is valid in the market. We manipulate these lows and this low here, while we do not on ES. So we are just looking for, a full move to the upside. We got our internal manipulation to the downside. So now a 1 minute does get opened up in favor too. Pull back to a change would be, nice. 2 minute change gets put in. 2 minute gap also holds too. So we are looking long here. And now I'm just going to hold this confidently. This will probably be the only stab of the day though. We waited very, very patiently. And, other than that, I can't really try to ask for more out of this market, So whether it's going to be slow, whether it's going to be fast, at the end of the day, we put this, higher time frame bullish SMT in, put an SMT in right there inside of, a gap. Inside of a 1 hour. to me that looks bullish. So we look for that continuation, that follow through. I got, you know, consistent size on 220 today, 4 cons. If we get a pullback, I will look to possibly add, but ES failed to take out the low, so I took it on ES. We got a little bit above first, so got this nice 1 minute in favor. But we are looking to, you know, take out those highs up there. Gonna get rid of that EQ level. And we're honestly here, we're just looking for, you know, a flush or, you know, us to rip. So super clean. We manipulated at the open for about 10 more minutes, you know, after we open. So, you know, honestly, once I see that happen, I'm not really waiting, you know, or expecting, I guess you could say, something that's gonna go super, super low, especially when we have a 1 hour right there. So we didn't even, we failed to fill a 1 hour put in the S&P. So at this time, we'll probably, you know, try to go break even. But MQ is looking to follow through as well. I want those equal highs taken. So look at the 15-minute long right here. Stop at, you know, the gap. Targeting buy side liquidity. And then external as well. I'm gonna sell 3 here. So 75% of my position will come off here. And then we'll leave a runner to external. External is all the way above there, but then, you know, another buy side liquidity level resting up there. So I'll just be looking for this, you know. Equal highs got taken out the market right there. So we're not really worried about that anymore. We're just gonna be looking to see higher from here. I feel as if, you know, it's a Friday. Consistent size is you know, the best thing. A stop loss first being here is about 300 at the S&T. We're gonna tighten that up to about, you know, right under the 1 minute now for 190. And, you know, it's just consistent. I like that, you know. I like that I don't gotta, you know, slap on 400. That's a Friday. You know, I put on 4 cons, something confident, you know, look at price action. At the end of the day, the model still delivered like beautifully. We held a 2 minute. We held this 2 minute right here. If you look, we held perfectly, put in the SMT, and then changed in the state right out of it, off that candle, pulled back to it, you know. I didn't enter off of that. I waited for like a more of a, you know, a reason why I would take this trade. And the reason was because I waited for, at the time, this SMT that was, you know, holding price lower. So as soon as that got taken out, I'm in there, you know. Phil got pushed up a little bit, but the reason I'm waiting is because if we still got a bearish SMT and I'm trading against that, you know, I still have a likelihood to get stopped. So that's really like the best way to position yourself. And, you know, that's literally how I got into that position, you know. So we're seeking higher, and, you know, from there, that's pretty much gonna be it. Just gonna let this trade rock out. Number 3, cons out of the four are going to come off there, and then we are leaving the runners to equal highs up there, relative equal highs. So super nice trade. I'm just pleased with the size that I put on too. I'm happy that, say I lose that 220 and that little, not that I'm not gonna lose it now, but say I do, and that's where I have myself just protected. It's not a lot on the day. you know, it's a Friday, no need to blow, half of what I made yesterday, or even a lot of what I made yesterday by putting on like, 300-400, and this trade, let's just say, doesn't work. So it's always a good thing to make sure your risk is consistent, and you can always under risk a little bit, over not over risk, but like have your normal consistent size at the same time. So yeah, that's pretty much it right here. Uh, just gonna jump to a higher time frame to just see where the market is, what we're manipulating. We got a high here and a high there. So, obviously a high inside of a 30-minute is not something you obviously like to always see. But with a draw right above it, you're not really too worried about that. So I'm just gonna let this play out, mute up, and I'll be right back. All right, so stop is pretty much around break even, uh, right under the 5-minute. And if we want to go higher, we'll hold this five. If we don't, then we will lose nothing on the day. And with that 1 hour holding that I drew, we take a buy side level inside of a 1 hour, while we don't take this, where's this high at? Right there. So we do take that high. But that's what I said. Like, if this 5-minute wants to hold, then we will probably, start seeing higher and legs out of this. So stop is right at break even, a little bit above right there. And, just a clean trade at the end of the day. Clean long. Not upset with the result that happened. Obviously, doesn't look like we're getting that displacement anymore. You know, we were up a little bit. I did not see where it went. So again, like I said, not upset about it. Uh, Everything happens, you know, for a specific reason in this market. So if we do not want to get through that 1 hour, then what are we gonna do? You know, a lot more things can happen. So yeah. But like I said, you know, 15-minute candle is, you know, starting to make its return. And we're looking like we're gonna get stopped here. You know, this 5 minute probably is not gonna hold. And, you know, we'll probably start seeking to get lower. But we're right above, you know, a 3 minute. This 3 minute got ran right above a 2 minute. 2 minutes probably, you know, not gonna hold either. There's no displacement in this range right there. So at the end of the day, super, super clean long. Just journal that real quick, just to, you know that's the exact trade we put on. Super clean though, with the reasoning and everything. Just took my model, you know, A plus SMT, manipulated, change, boom, and we're in. So 5 is looking like it's starting to hold just a little bit, but you know, we're not worried about it. Not really stressing what happens here. So now, if we put this 2 minute change in, and we get out of this, you know, level, we'll obviously start seeking higher. We'll start to seek higher. 2 minute fair value gap, and then obviously a 2 minute change to follow that. But we have to do that, you know, before getting stopped. So for a break even, just being up that much, and we know we are protected the same way we were protected down here. It was beneath the 1 minute and the SMT there. We're looking for that, you know, same exact follow through slash protection in our trades. We're looking to put this risk on, you know, like I said, win, lose, break even. I'm always, you know, happy with the decision making that I make, because at the end of the day, I just position myself to be in a position that I'm just not gonna lose heavy, or you know, I'll win. If I lose, you know, let's just say a decent amount, I know that I can come back another day and not make that back, but you know, just execute and still be up. So right here, yeah, we're just looking for that, you know, that type of displacement. If we start to get above this 2 minute, like we are right there, then you know, continue to see higher. So, but the trade is never over until it is over. This 5 minute did just turn bullish, so that 5 minute turning bullish on us, and then you know the next 5 minutes to open up, we will, you know, start to seek a little bit higher. So this is what the trade looks like though. We rebalanced. Where do we rebalance to? Let's see. Equilibrium. Holy shit, you know, it came right to the 50. Our trade is at break even under the 5 minute. So we had a beautiful 5 minute, you know, retrace in equilibrium inside of a gap. That will show you that, you know, we are bullish from here. But if we do not want to run, then again, that's perfectly fine. So this 2 minute gets inversed. I would look for, you know, us not to trade back down deep. I want to see if we run this 1 hour though, like if the market does want to run this 1 hour in the next 4 or 5 minutes, then again, I'll be pretty bullish, because that's what's holding us. You know, we took the high, bam, rebalanced EQ. So just holding on to the trade. This is what it looks like the 15-minute time frame. Clean though. At the end of the day, super clean. 10 more seconds until a 2 minute opens up. 3, 2, 1. Bam. 2-minute fair value gap opens up. Could go, stop loss a little bit of profit, or, obviously continue to have it at break even. That's what I'm gonna do. Let's look what NQ is providing. 5-minute fill. 2-minute opens up. Every rate to fill this again, get deeper into this, 5-minute as well. Even take the low on the 5-minute. So I'm not looking to, make any type of money on the day. Just looking to, capitalize. So if something clear out of this pops up, obviously there's a possibility to trade it again, but I have to find a really good reason to trade it again, just based upon where we're at. So 5-minute looks to, still hold. We got 2 more minutes. But from here, I do want to start seeing bullish, bullish signs. So put that 30-second change in right there. Just like that, we are starting to get lower. The gaps are starting to hold. So it looks like, this trade most likely won't pan out, but still, at the end of the day, we position ourselves, nicely, and then obviously, took a break-even day. So we just souped this low, we took it. If we don't get like instant legs up, then that's it. That's the order right there. So bam, not bad. Got that, out of it too. So here, just really waiting, not gonna trade it instantly again. Still have, targets, of course, above. Take this off. We still know we wanna, target buy side, but for 1 hour is gonna hold. Doesn't necessarily matter at all. So 2-minute change just gets put in as well right there. Pretty sure NQ, same thing. But, still no confidence in trading this yet. So, just watching now. We still might want to continue that sell off as well. Gotta really note that in our heads. Pull back to EQ this range here. Right, discount, manipulate higher, one more, and then possibly, still might want to get a sell off. So we don't even know if we want to, sell off again. So we have so much reason to move back lower. It just looks like our little sell model, buy side taken, bam, inside of a gap, just 1 hour gap, did hold. So that is bearish, but let's see what this gap has to provide. So the 5-minute looks like it got ran. 5-minute gets ran, bam. 3-minute change, 2-minute change, 1-minute change. I want to see what this gap has to offer. If we run this gap, we're looking bullish here. Run this gap, put in a change, we're bullish. To go to buy side. Which just still makes sense. So we just take the low. That's all we do. And put in our move. buy side, you know, external. That shit looks clean. I ain't gonna lie. So 2 minute model is, in my opinion, the cleanest. If we're gonna hold, then we will. And then I'll look for, if we hold here, I'm gonna look for this change out of it. And take a possible short. So we're holding, and then it does make sense. And Q looking to get lower too. Makes a lot of sense. S&T, of course. 30-second model though is what I'm looking to see. I want to see a clean change though. 2 minute held. So here's exactly where I want to see it happen though. I want to see that change be put in here. Right there. So anticipating this change in the state off this 30-second candle. While this 2 minute gap held, stop's gonna go right above this gap, and we're looking for that 30-second, you know, to validate this trade idea. So stop's gonna go originally up there, and Q looking to follow. S&T down here, that is our sell side. Just mark it like that just to look at it a lot more clean. And then let's look for, you know, equilibrium of the entire range. Super clean. And then we have a 1 hour change right there too. Yeah, that's nice. We pulled back, we changed, we pulled back, and now we're just starting to seek lower out of this move. So nothing holding us either. So super. I like this drawing right here. Obviously, this 15-minute holding is not ideal in this case scenario, but we're looking for that 15 minutes to just get ran. You know, news open. We're inside this macro. We would have been had a strong reason, you know, looking for this. This is a real change right here that we're looking for that pullback. This entire move higher. Market sell. I'm gonna look to add 4 here, and then my stop's gonna go right above this. I'm gonna target this too. So pretty much this change right here. Clean manipulation move right there. Stop is above a 1 minute. And we have our, you know, we have our original size on, but the model just being, you know, present enough for me to take this. I like it. We respected a 2 minute clean manipulation move. Could seek lower on this, but I'm basing it off the 1 minute here and this 1 minute change. So let me just go back real quick. Looking to go break even somewhere, you know, at these lows right there. A lot of relative equal lows too. So we're just gonna hang on to this trade. Right here, we'll probably go break even. And then that 2, you know, changing the state is our 2. Equilibrium right beneath that too. So we are looking to see lower. Equal lows break-even mark. And we're just not looking to see any of this stuff hold here. Pulled back to this change as well already. No need to pull back to it. Our stop could go a little bit tighter around there, but we're gonna leave it right above this 1 minute for now. Really nice consistent, size on 275. So we tightened it up a little bit, but we're looking for that, that follow through pretty soon, just because where we're at, where we're doing already. Market enters the macro at 950. And we had our reversal in here, so to about 10, sometime after that. So got that 1 minute holding. Take off this change. Want to see NQ start making its move lower as well. Same thing above this though. We have equilibrium resting there. So that's really gonna be it. This will be the trade though. If anything, like we're not gonna continue to trade this. I think everything happening where it happened at was the purpose of this. So we will look to go break even fairly quick as soon as that level gets met. Equal lows, mind you, we generated a lot of sell side along this way, and then we put in a nice move standard deviation. So break even, I'm going to buy 6 back here of this sell position. So I'm going to take 75% of this trade off here, which would be somewhere around like 4 something, 350 maybe. But we're going to take that off and the break even mark, go break even. And 2 just go. So that's what we're looking for here. 15-minute looking to get ran. If we run this 15-minute though, and the next 5 minutes, obviously I will just probably go break even a little bit sooner than needed, only because we just won't need to get back higher. So I just want to see some displacement off of this candle though. Just really confirming like lower is the draw. So 5-minute candle looking nice though. I want to see this open up though, kind of just get down, So we're already about to, hit our break even point. So this is a really good time to just tighten up the risk, 125, and just not really let any loss, play a factor at all. So we run this 1 minute, we can get rid of that. We're at that macro, ending point in time. So we'll look for it to pick up in the next 5-10 minutes. So we got a lot of size coming off at these lows. No S&T. Break even would be on NQ right there. Get rid of this S&T as well. And yeah, so we just take that low. But yeah, looking for this, next candle to push. Bow. Majority just came off there at 415. And then now, we can go break even. So we're break even now on the day. Just secured our profits. And you look here, we got that next, move of standard deviation, which was this entire run. So if I just draw this out here to there, I look for that too. I know there's two down here. So like I could really, really see lower on the day. Let two cons really work for me. Could let this go here, equilibrium, right inside that gap. We'll probably do that. So here, break even, no money lost on the day. Two really consistent trades. I don't know. That's pretty much it, to be honest. We got this equilibrium mark and a change in the state. I feel like that's a very, I feel like that's magnetic down there. So, there ain't no need to really not meet these levels. But that's exactly what I'm gonna start doing. When I go break even, I'm going to have my partials, come off. Because when I started risking a lot more, heavy, 75% of that was 415, which is dumb clean. I like that. If I'm putting on, about 275 and I'm shrinking that up to, somewhere 250, practically hitting a 1 to 2, taking my, my fruit, taking what's given right there. Mind you, we did not take that on NQ, so that's an easy, SMT, boom, possibly run back higher. I will look to, not look for another trade, but if this doesn't go to full TP, there's more likely for a reason that we wanted to manipulate and then obviously return, back higher. But I doubt that putting in a 15-minute change here, getting beneath this, running a gap, it's kind of like not ideal for us to go all the way back up. So like I said, just letting price action tell you will always reward you. And within this next minute and a half, just gonna look for the runners to get met. So other than that, like I said, dumb clean. We have a risk-free trade, capitalized on a lot of bread. If I took off 7 of the 8, it would only be like shit. I don't even know for where we're at right now. Yeah, I really don't even know. I would be like 450, so it's not really like a big difference. Letting these two run though, let me make a lot more. So we're looking to open up a 5-2 in favor. Like this shit's gonna get held. I'm holding this trade all the way down there. TP1, like I said, the super clean trade. Stop right above the 1. Wow. Cool. Phil was in this 30-second right here. So Phil was all the way up here, low key. We changed off this 30. Yeah, just putting a 15-minute change in the state, so we're gonna start sneaking over here. Again, we're just holding. So this was really like the trade changed. Yeah, I got filled there. Stop wanting to put like this at first. We just tightened it up as we went. So I could take off one con. I could let that shit ride here. It's another $400, But we're just letting that junk go to equilibrium. It's an area. It's not necessarily a full draw, but equilibrium, what does it line up with, like perfectly a 1 hour. So obviously we're gonna look for that to get met. along with our external, our sell side level right there. But we're looking for a clean, just pickup and delivery. So at least want to see a sell side level get met, and some form to flush through that. But probably pull back to this change. We got a 5-minute that opened up. This 15-minute got inversed. Like, dumb clean of a trade though today. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, you take some shit like that, you're cooling. Like, you feel really good. Took 2 good ass trades. At the end of the day, like, I'm seeing this shit go long, at least here, break even, partial there. Bam. Obviously I was partial in there. Looking to see just a higher move, but we're not gonna do that if it's possible, and we've done it sometimes, and that's why I did that. But we're not. That's why I put the trade on and I go break even though, because like we're not gonna do that without doing this first. Like we're not gonna go to buy side without you know the manipulation move happening, and that's this here. So that like you go to a higher time frame, like we hit this equilibrium, and then like manipulation move looks like something like this. Now your 2 lines up with buy side, that's the only way that's like happening. So like that's something I really just had to see, but I could have easily taken profits along that way. But again, like I said, that's just something that I have to learn myself and start practicing myself. So we're at this change in the state, about to hit full TP. Just gonna probably close this jump. I ain't gonna lie. If we don't just pick up and go, I'm just gonna take my profits for it and walk away. I ain't gonna lie. I'm comfortable with that. So $35 on the line, you know what I mean? So hell of a freaking trade though. Can't even lie.
All right, y'all. So that's pretty much gonna wrap up the video. Um, really just summed it down to how I made about $600, a little over that, in 45 minutes. Um, there's really like a lot of good pointers and a lot of good just tips and things. Like if you already know how to trade, if you don't know how to trade, if you just look what I'm doing and you mimic that each and every single day in the live stream, watch the videos after, see why you took your trade versus the trade I took. And I'm not saying I'm always going to be right. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm simply saying that I'm going to take my model every single time, whether it's up or it's down, and what the result is the result, that's where the whole accepting part comes. It will make you a stronger, sharp, and more just a overall better person in trading once you understand that. But other than that, I hope everyone enjoyed the video. I hope you guys, learned something from this week today itself. And other than that, I'll see y'all in the next one. Have a good weekend. Till next time, peace.